Hello, everybody. Here we are, EA
Hello,
Champions
hello.
Chat, and the first one of hopefully many. And this is such a big deal for us. This is, Steve and I have been so excited about this moment because, today we're gonna chat and introduce our very first EA Champion agent, the person who joined us for the first time, and we struck it lucky to begin with. Got a real superstar. And just delighted to have Melanie with us to tell us about herself, tell us about why she joined EA Champions, why she's excited about being part of EXP, and just for us to get to know you a lot better, Melanie.
Yeah, very warm welcome to you, Melanie. Very warm welcome.
Thank you so much.
Awesome, great to have you on board, and hopefully it's the start of an exciting journey. Great to be part of it. So to get us going, just give us a bit of an update in where you are. You've just come on board with EXP, part of EA Champions. Just give us an idea of where you're actually at right now here today as we sit here.
Yeah, so very excited of what the future holds, and obviously we'll go into that in this call. I'm just carrying on doing what I've been doing in terms of selling people's homes. So in that sense, nothing's really changed because people get me. That's all good, but also obviously just to feel supported in a great network. A really big network, but also having a lovely smaller network, which is EA Champions. So yeah, really excited.
You're somebody who you were already an independent agent, so you'd already made the move from going from sort of high street part of the high street team to making that decision to go out on your own. When did you make that move, and then when did you join EXP?
So I made the move 3 years ago from the high street, and 3.5 years ago actually, and then obviously just very recently joined EA Champions. So I've got experience of 3.5 years of being an independent, self-employed estate agent.
Okay. And talk us just briefly through that process, Melanie. Because I think a lot of people listening are maybe still working in a corporate on the high street in a role, in a salary, I should say, but doing a similar role. But talk just briefly about the difference in the role and how that transition was for you.
Yeah, well, quite a big transition. I mean, one of the things that I love about my job now, that I find immensely rewarding, which also in turn brings a great financial reward as well, is that the model of the high street is, you get a lister, someone who goes in, meets the client, gets to know their background, why they're moving. And then it moves on to people who do the viewings and then people who do the sales progression. Obviously, with myself, I meet the client at the very beginning and I hold their hand through the whole process and I do the viewings. And so when I'm doing viewings, then the buyers ask me questions. Well, I know because I've sat down, I've met the clients. And so it's a really lovely relationship that you build, which I think adds a lot of value into the whole process, and it enables me to get a better sales price, and also just helps in the whole progression because I know both parties. I've got to know them. So that's different in terms of how I found the transition. Obviously, it was quite a big step going from being employed to going out on my own. As a single mum, I had nobody to fall back on financially. So it was quite a big risk. However, when I was making that decision, I firmly believed it was the right decision to make because it was going to enable me to have all of that control and look after people and therefore deliver better results. But also, this would hopefully enable me to earn more money for myself and my son. And that's exactly what it's done. So yes, at the time I was aware of going from being employed, but it's just opened up a world of opportunity that I actually pinch myself now and go, oh my goodness, I feel like I'm dreaming that this is actually happening.
So you've done the last 2 to 3 years with another independent model.
Yeah.
So all going nicely, all going well. And then we come into your lives and you decide to join us at EA Champions. But more importantly, you you didn't just jump straight away. We introduced you to the EXP model, and something in you just went, yeah, this is the thing that can really make a big difference for me now. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. And when I talk to friends, and they ask me questions about who EXP is and what am I doing and why did I move. You only have to look at the television programs on Netflix at the moment, like Selling Sunset and all these glamorous programs, like the agency that the brokerage model is coming over from the US, and EXP is obviously growing really fast. There's been great positive news. They've been listed as one of the Fortune 500 most innovative companies, and yesterday I think it was. So there's loads of really great positive momentum of bringing in the infrastructure to help somebody like me, and then that with EA Champions, which is a smaller kind of little family that is there to support and coach people and share great ideas as well, is to me is amazing.
Brilliant. And that's, that exactly, you summed it up well. That's our role, is to hopefully bring some of the insights from our sporting world into the world of an agent, which might sound a bit far-fetched to some, but we see it as similar. You're the Olympian of the estate agency world. And one thing we like to ask whenever Roger and I have done our work over the years, a very open question, but I think it's pertinent, is what is success for you as you sit here now, as you look forward? What does success look like?
Well, my bank account's very happy. I don't have to worry now, and it's really lovely to be in that position. And yeah, I mean, I get a lot of reward myself for getting good reviews. When I get a good review from people, or I get a phone call, saying, "Oh, you were recommended to us by whoever it might be." And I find that really immensely rewarding. Personally, it really means a lot to me to know that I'm doing a good job and that people are really happy with the service, and I've done the best for them. I can hold my hand on my heart and go, there's nothing I could have done more for this client in terms of, staging the property, doing videos, aerial photography, taking real care. When I write a property description, I take real care. What should the bullet points be to attract the right buyer? And I think it comes down to do to others should have done to yourself. And I try and give the service that I would want to get myself if I was selling my home or looking for a property as well.
So,
Brilliant.
As I said at the very beginning, I think we were very lucky to come across you, Melanie, because you're an established agent, you're established in your community. You've done all the things that when somebody comes to EXP, sort of maybe younger and new to the estate world, these are the things that they find really difficult. How do I create a name for myself in the community? How do I get listings? But I mean, when you joined us, you'd already had that, reputation. What do you think are the challenges for people to make the step that you've taken? And how hard is it? Can you cast your mind back? How hard is it? Or do you think actually, if you just follow the system and you just fully immerse yourself in what is available at EXP and EA Champions, anyone can do this?
Well, I did it. I went from zero, and to where I am now. So if I can do it, I don't see why anybody else can't. It's like follow a process, get yourself out there on social media. When I actually went self-employed in the October before COVID hit, unknowingly, which was even more of a risk had I known. But I just got out there. I was just doing interviews with local businesses on social media just to help them, really. But what that did, it was great for me. I became very approachable. And I got a message about a year ago now on Facebook Messenger. And this lady said, we're not ready to sell right now, but when we do, we're coming to you because we've been watching you, and I sometimes forget that people know who I am in my local community because I've been putting myself out there on social media. So I think and that's what we're here for at EA Champions, and obviously there's lots of support at EXP as well, is right, well, this is how I can only say, well, this is how I did it. And I'm continually learning. I'm a big believer in that, you're learning something new every day. and I want to be the best. So, and I will learn off other people as well, but I am here to share how I got from from selling £300,000 houses to, £2 million plus houses, just through, there is, getting there on social media is a big thing these days, because then people feel they know you, and people buy people, and then it's a snowball. You get one client, and then you get another, and then they recommend you. And I'm in the very fortunate position now that I am at capacity, because all of my business is referred. All of it,
Wow.
From other clients.
Utopia,
So
utopia, really. That's what all agents want. I mean, referral, and I guess that, as you say, the challenge is you're unable to necessarily, cope with the amount. But hopefully through XP in the future, you can maybe create a team and have people on board to help you do that.
Absolutely. And I think, like just in terms of the challenges, you might have the technical support, what's involved in the marketing, and, you can learn how to market a home properly and all that kind of thing. But then obviously there's the mentoring and coaching, because, people say moving house is one of the most stressful times of people's lives. And then sometimes sometimes that's also along with one of the other most stressful situations, which might be bereavement or divorce or debt. So you're hand-holding people through quite a crazy situation. And if you care, that's a lot of responsibility to take on. So it's really nice to feel part of a community where you are supported. There's people who are doing what you do on a daily basis, who are there on the other end of the phone to go, oh my goodness, yeah, and share knowledge.
Part of that, Melanie, part of that, and I'm sort of thinking about the sort of the values of the XP, is that an independent agent, even a busy one like you, can have the time with their clients. Because I've moved in the last few months, and it's busy agents are hard to get hold of. Selling your house is the most important thing in your life at that moment, yet the agents are selling lots of other houses and dealing with lots of other things. And that sense of agents who just seem to always make the time for you and are always there for you is a big deal. And I think that is a criteria of becoming an EXP agent. I mean, if you can't do that, then really you shouldn't be going independent, should you?
Yeah, it's relationships, it's building trust with people, and caring about people, and I went to a meeting this morning, and I don't go into, I'm here to value your home. I literally am how can I help you? What's going on in your life? And, let me help you get from here to where you want to get to.
Brilliant. I mean, it's part of what EA Champions is all about, is building that community as well, and learning of other people. And one of those phrases we use in our corporate world is surround yourself with talent, and you're clearly very talented. And a question on that is, if you were to sort of cast your mind forward, part of your I suppose aspirations of being a successful EXP agent is building the business around you, of other agents coming on board and learning from you. How would you describe the perfect agents or the agents that you would want to be around? What characteristics would they possess in a world of utopia? Let's continue with that sort of real optimism. What do they look like in terms of their characteristics?
Authentic, genuine people, who care. It goes back to me. I think, to do for others as you'd have done for yourself. If you've got that mentality of you really want to deliver for people, you can, home sales are rarely stress-free. But if somebody knows that you've got their back and you're there and you're fighting their corner to get over the line, then that's everything. You don't have a magic wand to, but say if a buyer pulls out for some reason, then what you do is you go, right, I'm going to call on my contingent buyers, and it's having that. And this all comes back to as well, resilience, and being motivated and determined. But it comes from a core of, I want to help people and I care about this, as opposed to clocking off at 5 o'clock and you don't give a monkey's about people's lives.
I think that's a really good point, Melanie, because often the sort of the lure of independence is, work-life balance. I can get my life back into balance because no one's telling me I have to be in the office at this time. However, the reality is when you are fully accountable for your time, you can work whenever you want, where you want, and invariably what that means is, and we know through you, is that wherever you are in the world, you're taking those calls and you're dealing with your clients. what is the discipline that's required for, because I assume it's a very different mentality to be an independent agent, to be part of a team with a system. What is the discipline to be able to switch on and switch off, or are you always on?
I'm on a lot. Yeah, because, especially in the market that I work in, most of my clients are busy working professionals from 8 in the morning till 6 o'clock at night, even 7. They're very busy. And so I'm very available in the evenings, and I'm available at the weekends. And also, not just my sellers, buyers are equally working those hours. So when for example, if an inquiry comes in at 8 o'clock at night, I'll send basically someone's requesting a viewing or something. So I will send a WhatsApp message and say, hi, I've just received your inquiry. In fact, I've got a very good example of this. A lady inquired about a property early in the morning. At 7:39, I sent her a message on WhatsApp and said, hi, I've received your inquiry. Let me know when you're available to speak. At 7:43, she responded, said, hi, are you available later today? And I went straight back and I said, yes, 4 o'clock. So I'd made an arrangement, great, so she could go through her day. She felt that she knew that her inquiry had been responded to, and I had to call 4 o'clock. And I distinctly remember this. I was sitting in the Waitrose car park and I was on this phone for 40 minutes with this buyer. And she was inquiring about this certain property. And I said, well, tell me more, because a lot of corporates, they might go, oh, yes, we can book you in on Saturday. Well, I like to wind it right back. And I think I'm helping this person. So I try and dig deep. What are they looking for? And at the end of this 40-minute conversation, I said, I think I've got just the property for you. And it was a property that was not on the market. And I sent her a picture and she was like, oh my God, that looks amazing. I literally last week went to deliver a book of photographs of her property that I subsequently sold. And I was sitting in that new place that was her dream home. It was amazing architecture, lots of history. And she gave me a big hug and she said, I can't believe it. And I said, do you remember when we had that interchange at 7:40 in the morning? And that comes back to what I was saying earlier. The feeling of reward that I get from, that's life-changing for her. She's in a happy place and it's got amazing views and it's a brand new chapter for her. And I've played a part in that. And in fact, because I will talk for ages and I will stop in a second. But basically, I was in a meeting this morning and I was just letting this seller know that I helped some other sellers find their new dream home in Devon. And I don't know if you can see here, but there's photographs of a house. And so when they moved to Devon, so I sold their home in Caterham and I helped to negotiate on their behalf their place in Devon. And I said, so happy for you both. And Graham said, we're just grateful that you had a hand in realising this for us. We hope you will visit us if ever this way.
Ah, there you
That's
go.
great.
Summer holiday sorted.
I don't know if that answers your question.
So it's relationships. To summarize, it's relationship. The interesting bit of that story I find is that you sold her a house that wasn't on the market. Now, presumably, you're able to do that because of another relationship that's going on. The previous story.
And it's trust. People trust me.
Yeah, so if I'm an agent listening to this or watching this, I'm thinking, wanting to make that step. I could go, yeah, but it's easy for her. She's, but it doesn't. That isn't easy. You can sit here now and you can say this. But it can't have been easy to get to this point. The hours and hours and the learning and knowing what's right and there. But everything you seem to say, underpins everything you say is that you want to do unto others as you would want them to do to you. I think it's important to you have a very clear idea of your why you're doing this. And of course you're making great money out of it. And of course, that's part of it. But for you, that seems to be the byproduct. That's not your primary motivation at this stage in your career.
Yeah, and it's not rocket science. There's so much you can do that I think the corporates have kind of got a bit lazy. I don't like saying bad things about me, but the high street has become lazy, and I see it all the time, where the marketing could have been better. And this isn't rocket science. Anybody can do this. If you're shown, say if you come within the EXP and the EA champions and you have that coaching and mentoring, right? Videos, staging, how, send on an anniversary of someone moving into the house, send them flowers and a card saying you've been in your house for a year.
There's a lovely saying I love and really buy into. And Steve and I, in our entrepreneur life post athletics, success leaves clues. If someone's done it, let them teach you, because most people want to teach, whether it's athletes. We learn so much from older athletes. And then you sort of nick a bit of what this person done, this person is, and you apply it to what you're doing. And you seem to have this passion. You want to help people. You want to show people. You want to coach people. And what we're trying to do at EA Champions is to create this environment of great agents like you, thriving independently, obviously thriving businesses, but also creating this environment so you can help and coach the agents, other agents, to make this big step that you've made so successfully.
And the industry needs it, and it's not rocket science. It's just caring and doing your best for people. So anybody can do it.
Brilliant. To start to bring this to a close, Melanie.
I'm just going to go random. You said it's not rocket science 3 or 4 times in this interview. And I'll never forget, I was once doing a gig once and speaking to an audience of scientists. And the phrase "it's not rocket science" came up, and of course they were all rocket. Some of them were rocket scientists. I remember go, well, actually, it kind of is rocket science.
Just to kind of build on that and bring this to a close. Otherwise, I know we could chat all day. Well, you certainly could. Is what piece of advice would you give to your younger self, without wanting to sound like the cliched coach? But I think it's a pertinent question. If you were coming into this as a young, wide-eyed, fresh to it, being an estate agent, what one piece of advice would you give yourself?
Well, I would have started what I'm doing now earlier, but I would say work for yourself. Work for yourself. Don't work for somebody else. You make more money, you have more control by working for yourself. And, that's obviously the model I've got, that I've got the infrastructure around me with the XP and A champions, but I'm self-employed, and it's financially rewarding and also personally rewarding.
Brilliant. Do it sooner as well. I took there at the very start of that. I mean, that's
absolutely.
So look, Roger, we're going to do quick fire questions.
You love a quick fire question, don't you?
We love quick fire questions, just to get to know you even more, Melanie. So okay. I've prepared a few questions. So don't think too hard. Okay, we're just going to go for it. Yeah,
just instinct.
Quick fire answers. So, townhouse or country house?
Country house.
What sells a house? Fancy kitchen or luxury bathroom?
Kitchen.
Gotta be.
Of course. What? I thought you would say that. What's your preference of period or modern?
Period, but with a contemporary stamp.
Nice. Most expensive house you've ever sold?
2.2 million.
Nice. TV in a bedroom, yes or no?
No.
Oh. Hard floors. Oh, yeah. Hard floors or carpets?
Oh, depends where. Carpets upstairs, hard floor downstairs.
Yeah, I'll take that. Favorite supermarket? I think you've already said this.
Waitrose.
We knew that. Faux flowers in a house, yes or no?
Oh, real flowers for a home, but I use faux flowers for staging.
Nice. Oh, don't trick of the trade.
The honest agent. You hear see that? Honest.
What's more important, parking space or garden space?
Garden.
Kind of both. Garden. Okay. Quickest you've ever sold a house?
A day.
A day?
Well, went on the market one day, I sold it the next, sale agreed the next.
Wow. Okay. Impressive. If you're an athlete, it's a bit of a random one. If you were an athlete, which event do you think you would do?
Sprint.
Sprint. Are you quick? That's good. That's good.
Proper athlete.
Who's easier to deal with? Tricky one here. Who's easier to deal with? Solicitors or lenders?
Well, I always recommend a really good solicitor who communicates. So in my case, a solicitor.
Okay. Not always the case. Cats or dogs? Random one. Cats or dogs?
Dog.
Best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Well, something you said actually earlier in this call, surround yourself with talented people that will raise you up.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for humouring us. That's very, very cool. Thank you.
Is that all the questions,
Awesome.
Steve?
That's all the questions.
That's
That's
a
all the
lot of
questions.
questions. Well done,
Yeah,
Melanie.
it's good. It's good. We feel like we know you better now.
So, Melanie, thank you so much for your time. Honestly, I hope we look back in years to come, and you were the number one, agent number one, and what's obvious is that we're trying to create this great world-class environment, world-class agents, and if someone's listening or watching and they want to connect with you and you go, wow, she inspires me, I want to learn from her. Contact Melanie. We'll get all the links out. Contact us at EA Champions and say, hey, I saw that thing you did with Melanie. Because I know you're pretty keen to help as many people as possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And thanks for joining us, Melanie. You are genuine, a bundle of energy, and I can so see why you're so successful. You bring every time we speak, I always come off a call or when we meet in person, I always feel full of energy. So thank you for that, and really look forward to being on this journey with you. All the best.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Bye. Have a good day. See you.
Cheers.